ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्रा स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टवंशस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवा स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदा स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांति। डिस्टेंस ज्यादा नहीं बढ़ाए ना? नहीं। We are studying here Prashnopanishad belonging to the Atharva Veda, and we have seen how it is a sequel to the Mundaka Upanishad. In what sense? And we have seen the Anubandha Chatushta as usual, that the purpose of life is attainment of perfection or completeness, and we are sadhakas, different from ordinary man. Man is different from animals because animals do not try to improve. Man tries to improve by changing nature. बोल दिए शुरू। ओम भद्रम कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रम पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्रा स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टवंशस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवा स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदा स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमि Swasti no Brihaspati Dadhatu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. We are studying here Atharva Veda Prashnopanishad, and we have had 3 classes up till now, and we have studied the how, in what sense it is a sequel to the Mundaka Upanishad, and we have studied the meaning of the name Prashnopanishad, and we have also thought of the Anubandha Chatushtaya, that is, purpose of life is attainment of perfection or completeness, and we are sadhakas. We have seen that living beings are different from non-living because of the I consciousness present in them. And all the animals, man is different from animals because animals do not try to change anything or improve anything. They are same as they were. Man tries to improve, and man tries to improve things in the world. Man has a feeling of imperfection or incompleteness. Why? Therefore, we find a struggle in his life. But the direction of struggle is always in the external world, and that never gives him the sense of fulfillment. So we are sadhakas in the sense we understand that to get the fulfillment of life, we will have to create change in ourselves. And this change is mainly the change of consciousness. Our knowledge, our jnanam, our consciousness, our awareness today is that we are subjects in this world of objects. And we are body that is changing every moment, so we cannot be body. Indriyas, mind, all of them are changing continuously. Even the I consciousness is very much different between children and old people. So that cannot be the real meaning of I. That cannot be our real nature, man's real nature. And this I consciousness is shifting also. Sometimes I am the body, sometimes my body. So like that, from body to indriyas to mind to I consciousness, it is shifting always from year to year. So it is not true. On the other hand, all the rishis, all the men of realization, their consciousness is that there is only one Satchit Ananda in the whole world, and that appears in me as my I, in you as your I, in everybody as his, her I, and through names and forms it appears as infinitely many. Even the matter is another name for that very Brahman. The expression is highly tamogunatmak. So it does not show the consciousness. So the definition of sadhak we have seen, and we are supposed to be that, and that is the person fit to understand these Vedanta scriptures. And the subject matter of Vedanta is that the I consciousness which we feel, the reality of this I consciousness is the same as the reality of the cosmic I consciousness. So that is the subject matter of all the scriptures, but they deal with it in very different ways. Because the listeners are different, because the givers are different, so the method of giving the same knowledge is different, and that is why we have these Upanishads. And we have seen that one shloka does not give the order of reading, it only enumerates 10 Upanishads, and so it is a sequel to the Mundaka Upanishad that we have taken, Prashnopanishad. And we have also seen that how to study that, the sambandha, the connection, is that we have to study critically and devotionally. And through applying the feeling psychosis of man, not only the intelligent psychosis, but the feeling psychosis, we get this bhava. We are very near to the power of experiencing subtler truths which we possess already. So, this is not realized or even understood by thinking, feeling, or will. But when we purify our thinking, feeling, and will by contemplating on God always, then the inner power of realizing the truth is awakened. And that inner power of realizing subtler truths ending in the absolute intuition or direct realization of our own real nature is the means of realization. And so, feeling is nearer to that compared to thinking and will. Now, this thinking has become very prominent in Shankara's Bhashyas everywhere. So, we have to take care of that much. Otherwise, Shankar's explanations take us nearer to the truth told by the rishis. So, we are studying it with Shankar Bhashya. That also becomes explained. So, and then we studied the two prayers. First prayer, Bhadram Karnevi. Second prayer, more practical, was Swastina Indra Uddha Shava. And it ended by telling us that we always require an ideal person in front of us for the mind to go towards Brahman. And then the Acharya's Sambandha Bhashya we studied, and in that he has told that the form of story is for glorifying the knowledge contained therein. Because such great people only could get it, not Tom, Dick and Harry. And great strugglers, those who were busy with tapasya in the forest, following brahmacharya life, and great shraddha. And they also could realize only with the help of people, all-knowing like Pippalada. After that, we started reading the first mantra. The book is divided in 6 chapters according to the 6 questions asked. So the preliminary things will occur in the first chapter, that is during the first question. So before we come to the first question, we were told that, I read the first mantra again, Om Sukeshacha Bharadvajaha Shaibyascha Satyakamaha Sauryayanicha Gargyaha Kausalyascha Ashwalayano Bhargavo Vaidarbhi Kabandhi Katyayana Teha ete Brahma para Brahma nishtha Param Brahma Anveshamana Eshaha vai tat sarvam vakshati iti Teha Samit Panayo Bhagvantam Pippaladam Upasannaha. 6 names are given. We shall see their meaning, and then Teha ete Brahma para. Now after that comes Param Brahma Anveshamana. So this Brahma is Apara Brahma, the lower Brahma, or the product Brahma, or the Saguna Brahma as we call it. So they were Brahma Para. That means in their life they had taken this apparent Brahma, the Apara Brahma, that means Brahman appearing in the form of the world. Brahman, the reality of the world. So connected with the world, that is called Saguna Brahma. And this Brahma, they were taking to be the highest goal. That is Brahma Para. Brahma Para means this Brahman, which is the background of the universe, which appears as this universe, which is the reality of the universe, which is connected with this universe, itself is all they were thinking. And Brahmanishtha, and they were steadfast in that consciousness. But it occurred to them that this is not the final. It occurred to them that Brahman is really beyond all that. And so, Parabrahma Anveshyamana, the Brahma which is beyond, they were searching for that. They were searching to understand that. They were searching to feel that. They were searching to realize that. So such were the people. So it automatically tells us of the Anubandha Chatushtaya that these are the fit persons to study about, to learn about the Brahman which is beyond and near both. So the ultimate reality is both beyond and background of this world. So only background of this world is common man's understanding of the reality, or they call it God. So that they took that as the final, and their mind was steadfast in that. And being steadfast in that, it occurred to them that the real nature of reality is beyond all this. So this is like a step. And they were already established in that step. So when we try to understand what Pippalada taught them or what they asked, we should raise our mind to this point. That is the meaning. The meaning is that this is given by Pippalada in answer to their questions of people who were already established in the thought, contemplation, and experience of Brahman, which is the reality of all. Brahman, which is the background of this world. Brahman, which is the connected with this world. Brahman, which is immanent in this world. So this is in the story itself we were told that such were 6 people. And they were all forest dwellers, that we shall see by context, and they met each other, they discussed, because these are like short notes of the story. So there may appear some gap which we'll have to fill. So it tells that they thought this man will explain. So how they thought? They came together. They came together, discussed with each other whether solution is found to their request. And when it was not there, then it occurred to them that let us all go to Pippalada, who was known in those days to be like all knower. And so they went to him in a proper way. Eta esha vai tat sarvam vakshati iti. He will tell all that, he will solve all our questions. Teha samit panayo, with fagots in hand, as a symbol of surrender, as a symbol of learning from the Guru, they went to Bhagavan Pippalada, the all-knower Pippalada, Upasannaha. They approached him. They went to him. So, let us see now what Shankaracharya explains on this mantra. The introductory portion we already seen. So, Sukeshacha namata Bharadvajasya apatyam Bharadvajaha. Bharadvaja is the name of a rishi. His son is mentioned here, whose name was Sukesha. Shaibhyasya Shivehe apatyam Shaibhyaha Satyakamo Namata. Shaibhya means the son of Shivi, and his name is Satyakama. So identifying a person by his father or by village or by some surname. Sauryayani Surya tasya apatyam Sauryaha tasya apatyam Sauryayani Chandasa Sauryayani iti. So Sauryayani is a ends in Dirghani. So Acharya explains it step by step, that first think of Surya name, and Suryasya son is Saurya, and Sauryasya name is Sauryayani, and the Dirgha E is the Vedic license or Vedic change over the Pranini's grammar. So that is the third person. Then Garga Gotrotpanna. Garga is not the son of Garga, but in the family of Garga. That means as the in the lineage of Garga is called Garga, and Sauryayani cha Gargya. So the man's name is not given. Garga Gotrotpanna. So Surya is not sun god. Understand? Yeah? It is not legendary. They are real people from history. So he is born in the clan of Garga. In the clan of Garga, there was one Surya. And the grandson of Surya is Sauryayani. So his name is not mentioned at all, proper name, but is known as the grandson of Surya, belonging to the clan of Garga. This is the third person. Kausalyasya namato Ashwalasya apatyam Ashwalayana. So Ashwala's son is Kausalya. Bhargavo Bhrugor Gotrapatyam Bhargavo. Again, born in the clan of Bhrugu, Gotrapatyam. And so is Bhargav. And Vaidarvi. So here also name is not given, the surname is given. Bhargav is his surname. And he is from the area called Vidarbha. You should know, Vidarbha, now there are also two ideas about Vidarbha. One idea, it is on the eastern part of Maharashtra. One idea is that Vidarbha was 4 districts. And the other idea is that if you include the Nagpur area also, then the Vidarbha had 8 districts. But Vidarbhians, they say Naga Vidarbha. That means the Naga kingdom and Vidarbha. So Vidarbha proper remains 4 districts only. So from there, and Bhrugos Gotrotpannam. Vaidarbhi Vidarbhe Bhava. Then Kabandhi Namata Katyasya Apatyam Katyayana. So Katya is the name, his son is Katyayana, and name is Kabandhi. Then why this Katyayana? Katya Sapatyam, why not Katya? So Vidyamana Prapitamo Yasya Saha, whose great grandfather is living. So the name is given in this style. Yuva Pratyaya. So this Katya further becomes Katyayana because his great grandfather was living. Name is Kabandi. So these are 6 people. Teha ete Brahma para. Shankara explains aparam Brahma paratvena gataha. So the aparam Brahma, lower Brahma, this is a technical term to understand Brahman as the manifested world. Brahman as the background of this manifested world. Brahman connected with this manifested world. Brahman the reality of this manifested world. So Brahman somehow connected with this world. Brahman immanent in this world. That is called Apara Brahma. Because when we will realize Brahman, actual, then this world will not exist. So that is called Parabrahma. And so Parabrahma means transcendent, immanent reality. That which is beyond the world and that very appears as this world. That is the Parabrahma. Do not mistake that Parabrahma means Nirguna only. But if we do not consider that Nirguna and think of Brahman only as appearing in this world, then it is Apara. Please understand this difference. Brahman, the reality of the world, is transcendent, immanent reality, one without a second. It is beyond the world and it appears as this world. So that is the real nature of the reality. Now in Shankar Bhashya or many people's mind, it is emphasized that Brahman is beyond. It is emphasized, accepting fully well that it is immanent also. On the other hand, like these sadhakas, many people do not know about it. They are satisfied with this Brahman, which is always connected with this world. So that is called Apara Brahma. Brahma as Saguna Brahma, Brahma as the immanent reality. You know what they call in Christianity? Holy Ghost. Holy Ghost. Ghost means bodiless spirit or consciousness. And holy because it is filling the entire universe. So these are the names. Ordinary man calls him God. To understand the difference, we call it personal God. Personal is not I or you, my personal. Personal means a God who is a person, like me and you. We are individual persons, he is a cosmic person. So these are the different ideas of Ishvara. A peculiar thing, unnecessary, but today I got it, is a peculiar thing. One of my friends was a devotee of God from his birth. And he became attracted to Vedanta. And he was told by many people or some people that Vedanta is no Ishvara. So he was not only confused or perplexed, he was troubled at heart because he feels an attraction to Vedanta. And yet he cannot give up his love for God. When he asked me this question, I told him they are fools who say that Vedanta does not accept Ishvara. Vedanta tells us that this Ishvara is not the final reality. It never rejects it. Vedanta tells us that Ishvara is not the final reality. This Ishvara, in its transcendent aspect, will be the final reality. Ishvara, when thought of beyond the world and also immanent in the world, then that will be the final reality, and that we call as Brahman. And to tell the two separate ideas, we call Nirgun Brahma and Sagun Brahma. So, today, in a book on Upadesha Sahasri, the author is telling Vedanta deals with Ishvara only. Without Ishvara, there is no Vedanta. So that is the right idea. But Vedanta deals with the real nature of Ishvara. So, and this book is telling us that it is natural for a man to first think of the personal Ishvara. Very natural. Because they know that they live in this world and there has to be a ruler or governor of this world. Because we see orderliness in the world. And there has to be a creator of this world because the world was not there. And according to the Indian proper thought, one day the world will not exist because that is our experience. Our experience is that anything in this world was not there, will not be there, and so it appears in the middle. So man generalizes it and applies it to the whole world, that the whole world was not there. It came into being, stays for some time, and again gets dissolved. So there has to be a creator, preserver, and destroyer of this world. That makes Indian thought different from all other thoughts of the world because they do not talk about the destroyer. They say that a devil comes and destroys this world. So, anyway, so here it is very basic idea to think of this God who is the creator, preserver, and destroyer of this world. And that is what these sadhakas also were thinking. These sadhakas also were Brahmanistha. This Upanishad does not deal with the word Ishvara. It talks of Brahman because that is the same reality, but of this order. And Brahmanistha, Shankar is telling here that Deha ete Brahma para aparam Brahma paratvena gata tad anusthana nishtha cha Brahmanistha. Tad anusthana. Anusthana means practice. That means in their life, they were devoted to that Saguna Brahma. They, in their practice, it was nothing but Brahma. That is Anusthana. Okay? So they were doing everything for that Brahman, for God. Such were the great people. And because God was more important for them than the world, so their mind evolved. Their level of consciousness rose, evolved. because of this devotion to that God. Because they were devoted, practically devoted to that God, and they had taken that as supreme. That means nothing else in the world, no interest in the world, but taking that God to be the supreme reality of life. That is how they were. And this made them evolve. And the evolution of consciousness told them that there has to be something beyond. God himself will have a transcendent reality. And so they search for it. That was the 6 sadhakas. Param Brahma Anveshamana. Kim tat? So what is this Anveshan? Searching. That Acharya explains. Yan Nityam Vigayamiti. 2 things they thought. That it should be unchanging, eternal. Unchanging, eternal. Because we see changes in this world. So the immanent God appears to change. But he must have an unchanging reality. First thing they thought is this. Vigayam. And that we have to experience that. Only thinking of that will not do. Only imagining that will not do. Only theorizing about it will not do. So the searching involved these 2 things. They were searching for the transcendent reality, means they understood, grasped that it is unchanging, eternal reality. And it has to be experienced. This is called searching. Now, what is this? Anveshamana. Now that gives me another idea. Anyway, though that is not the context. In Shankara's Viveka Chudamani, he defines bhakti as Swaswarupa Anusandhanam. So this Anveshamana is Anusandhana. And the meaning of Anusandhana is this, that it is unchanging reality and we will have to realize that. Yan nityam vigyam iti. And then, what is all their thoughts? Shankara has entered their mind and telling us. On this word, Brahma Anveshamana. Param Brahma Anveshamana. Yan kim tat? Yan nityam vigyam iti. Tat prapyartham yatha kamam yatishyama. And we have to get it. And to get it will bend all our efforts. Yatha kama means whatever is needed for that we shall do. Yate shama. Iti evam tad anveshanam kurvanta. So all this is the meaning of anveshan. So anveshan means it is nitya, we have to know it, we have to realize it, experience it. We have to experientially know it. And to get it, whatever is necessary, we are ready to do, sacrifice. This is called anveshamana. Tad adhigamaya we shall do to know it, to realize it. Adhigam has both the meanings, to know and to get, so realize. Esha vai tat sarvam vakshyati iti. And they thought This man will tell us everything. Iti acharyam upajam. So they went to the teacher who knows everything. Katham, how they went? Teha samit panaya, samit bhara gruhita asta santo. So taking fagots in hand, the weight of fagots is samit pana bhara gruhita asta. In the hands, they carried it. So that is the symbol of a learner from the Guru. Bhagwantam Pippaladam Acharyam Upasanna Upajam. So the revered Pippalada was the Acharya and they approached him, went to him. So it tells us that Guru Pasatti is one of the essentials of Brahma Vidya Prapti. In the Mundaka Upanishad, we get this idea that tad vijnanartham sa guru meva vigachet samit pani shrotrim brahmanishtam. So that idea is come here. Now they went to him and they asked him some points will be gap. So they asked him that we want to ask you some questions. He told them, we come to the second mantra. Tan hasa rishiruvacha. Means it is well known that the rishi told them, Bhuya eva tapasa brahmacharena shraddhaya samvatsaram samvatsatha. Bhuya eva means again. That means he knew that they were such and such. How were they? Tapasa brahmacharena shraddhaya. That is what Shankara has mentioned in the beginning. That they are following austerity. It evidently means here they are living in the forest as anchorites, sadhakas, and following continence, which is the essential part of sadhana, brahmacharyena. Shraddhaya. What is Shraddha? We are not experiencing the transcendental truth, but it is there. The rishis have experienced and they are ready to teach us. And if we follow them, we shall also realize this much content is called Shraddha. So with this faith, they were living in the forest. So the Pippalada knows that and he tells them again for one more year. With these very things, you stay with me. So it has a great, great significance because they have their own ruts. They must stay with the Guru. They must observe him. So Brahma Vidya is not only taught by mouth, but by the transformed character. And living with him, they will understand how this man has totally changed. They knew him to be a man of realization. But what is that? How that realization has changed him? And that is what he tells them. So their ruts of the mind will change. They will live with the Guru. This is a great, great, great fact of sadhaka's life. And that is the indication we had got in the prayer by Brihaspati is present. Personally, I remember very much. I told perhaps no in the last class. No. That time when I went to my guru, did I tell them? Huh? So I had decided to join, but due to some practical things, I had thought that I will come after 3-4 months and join. He told me, if you want to go anywhere, you go. I have no objection. But if you want to join here, do not go from here, from this point. And due to some impossible things, I told him I will have to go to my house. He said, that you can do in time. But don't go anywhere else. And then when I lived with him, I understood him properly. And then only I could get some knowledge from him. So it is a great fact of life. And when I studied in the Prashnopanishad, it tallied with my life. So you must have a living company. That was told by that Brihaspati. So this is what he told them. He knew that they are living like this. Bhuya eva, with those very things, tapasa brahmacharyena shraddhaya, samvatsaram samvatsatha. You stay with me and then ask your questions. So the questions also will take a proper shape. Understood? And another important point involved we are continuously seeing. Only on their questioning they got the knowledge. Not otherwise. I remember here many things. Now people generally go to a sadhu, Maharaj, please talk something. And when you talk, their attention is somewhere else. Now again, personal I remember. Because this is life. My Guruji once told me, some other member of the senior to me, that he comes, he did not name him. He comes and stands here. What shall I talk to him? You have 1,000 questions in your mind, so I talk to you. I thought, I am not asking him 1,000 questions. But he said, you have 1,000 questions in your mind. And of course, I am asking questions. So, that is the thing. In the Chandogya Upanishad, we had seen this. When that Shvetaketu went for 12 years and came back, his father saw that he has become haughty and all that. Father tells him, you must not ask that question to your teachers, that knowing what, unknown things also become known. So because you have not asked, they have not told you. Anyway, so that is what he said. Then ask me questions. Yatha kamam prashnan pruchhata. Again here also, in the gospel we find one incident. In the great master we find one incident. A devotee of Ramakrishna had a friend living outside Bengal. And he came and he said, I have questions in my mind. So this devotee said, you must ask your questions directly. Do not hold some vakil to ask them. But he was shy and he asked somebody else to ask the question. And he did not get answers to his satisfaction. Because the questioner is different. So he told him again, you must ask yourself. So he asked one question and he got such answer that it was answer for all his 3 questions. So, the questions have to be asked directly. Yadi Vigyasyama Sarvam Havo Vakshama iti. Yadi does not show that he is doubting himself. He is sure, but it is a form of modesty. But Sarvam Havo Vakshama, I will tell you everything, that also he says. So he assured them, not that I will avoiding your questions, but not today. Live with me for a year, then ask whatever you want, and if I know, I will surely tell you everything. This is the conversation which is a part of the Upanishad, which is a part of receiving knowledge. Tan eva upagatan ha sa kila rishiruvacha. So to those who had come like this, the Rishi told, here the word mentioned is Rishi. Rishi is darshanat. Rishi is one who has seen the reality. Vacha bhuya punareva. So Acharya explains bhuya punareva means yadyapi yuyam purvam tapasvina eva. Though you have been tapasvis, tapasa indriya sanyamena, living with control of the senses, that type of austerity. So it includes that brahmacharya and shraddha. Tathapi iha visheshato, iha, here with me, in my ashram. Here with me, visheshato, specially. Brahmacharya shraddhaya. So brahmacharya is included there. Shraddhaya he explains astikya buddha. Astikya buddhi means the consciousness, awareness that it is there. The transcendent reality is there. That is called astikya buddhi. Adaravanta. What is other? Respect. Why not add the Bengali meaning? A loving respect for that reality. Loving respect for Guru, loving respect for that reality. Samvatsaram kalam samvatsata. Now, Acharya explains, live with me means what? Samyak Guru Shushrusha Paraha Santo Vetsata. Bapre, great thing. You have to serve me. Then your mind will be ready to receive from me. He does not say me. Shankar says Guru. Samyak. Rightly, Guru Shushrusha Para. Taking that to be supreme in life. Serve him. So, the preparation of the mind is mentioned like this. Vatsata. Live like this. Shankar has told that these are all parts of Brahma Vidya, not only reading the scriptures. Tato yatha kamam yo yasya kama tam anatikramya yatha kamam. That means what is in your mind, that much you ask me. Don't ask me somebody's question. Yad vishaya yasya jigyasa. And all of you have different questions in your mind. So whatever topic you want to ask, that you have to ask. Tad vishayan prashnan pruchyata. Yadi tad yushmat prushtam vigyasama, that which you ask, if I know that, anudatatva pradarsanartho yadi shabdo na agyana samshaya artha. Shankar says this yadi is the modesty, not doubt or one's ignorance. Rishi is confident, but in a modest way he says that Prashna nirnayad avasiyate. Because we say that everything concludes by the solving of those questions. Sarvamahavo va prushnam vakshamaiti. So whatever you ask, I will tell you. So now we come to the first question. And the questions, first, second means they have been arranged in a proper way in the Upanishad for our understanding. Now, if you notice, this is the mentioned last sixth, na? So the last mentioned is the first question. Atha means now. Now means after that 1 year. They lived and served him for 1 year. They did not doubt that why we should serve him. They served him. Some funny thing I remember. In Pune, a lady professor asked me, brahmacharis come here to meditate and get samadhi, and you give them so many work, how they adjust? I said, brahmacharis come here to meditate and samadhi, they are not fit. Brahmacharis come here to learn from us how to get God. And they do whatever we tell them. They serve. And then they learn to meditate. One of my friends is a PhD in Vedanta. He said once, in a very, you may say, slang type of language, unless one washes the kopinas of the seniors, he cannot get knowledge. Anyway, so Atha Kabandhi Katyayana Upetya. Upetya means he met the Guru again. They are living in that ashram, serving him. But he goes to him. Papracha ask, Bhagavan, kuto hava ima praja prajayanta iti. Ima praja. That means the world which we see, ima praja. From where it comes. From where it is born, prajayanta. So he wants the interrelation between the reality and this world. That is how they will climb. So the first question is, we know it is the reality of the world, creator, preserver, destroyer, but how are we born from him? How we call him our father or mother? How we are born from where we are born? That means from him or from somebody else. Am I the son of my father and mother, or I am the son of God? Okay. So how, kuto, from where this progeny is born? So understood the question? Acharya tells us, Atha samvatsarat urdhvam, after 1 year, Kabandhi Katyayana Upetya Upagamya Papracha Prushtavan, He Bhagavan, Kuta, Kasmad va, Kasmad ha va. Kasmad means from where? Ima Brahmanadya Praja. So Praja means men he is asking about. Brahmanadya means classification. All these Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, all these men, from where? Prajayanta Utpadante, from where they are born. Apara Vidya Karmano Samuchittayor Yat Karyam Ya Gati Tad Vaktavyam Iti Tadartho Yam Prashna. Now, what is inside the question, Acharya is telling us. Aparavidya, that means Ishvara. Consciousness or devotion to Ishvara. And with that, we are doing karma. So these two together, what is their effect or up to what we go is inside the question. Question is from where this praja is born. But inside the question is this, that what they have already realized, Apara Brahma. So, Apara Brahma is the result of how they are realized, that they are doing karma sincerely along with the knowledge of Saguna Brahma. Okay? So that is inside their question.
So what is the question? So they are doing this karma with Saguna Brahma idea. And then
Saguna Brahma, they are worshippers, devoted to. That consciousness is there. And with that, they are doing karma. All their austerity and everything is called karma. So they are doing karma. So this leads to what? Because the real teacher never answers the question. It answers the questioner. What is in his mind? So Shankar here has told us what was in his mind. When we know this, then we'll understand the answer. Okay? So, tadartha ayam prashna. For that is this question. So we get the answer next Wednesday. Om Badram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Deva Badram Pashye Makhyabhir Yajatra Stirai Rangai Stushtavanshas Tanubi Veshema Deva Hitam Yadayu Swastina Indro Vruddashrava Swastina Pusha Vishwaveda Swastina Starksho Arishtanemi Swastino Brahspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti